Okay, we're live yet again. It's 4:13. I'm going to give this.
Calling global retail support. To continue this call in English, please press 1. To continue this call in Your call may be recorded for quality assurance. Thank you for calling the Nike Global Service Database, Benjamin. Can I have a username, please?
Hi, I'm Asmat Zirak. I am calling because I would like to reset my password, and the store that I'm working at should have called for vouching the security question.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sir, do you have the, your user ID or username?
Yes, that's EZEERAK. No, actually, sorry. The username is ESMAT.ZEERAK at Nike.com.
Thank you. Let me just pull it up. Hold on. I'm sorry, sir. I'm still pulling it up.
Okay.
What's your store location again, sir?
Silver Spring, Maryland.
Do you have the store location number? 468.
Yes, the store number is 468
Okay, gotcha. Your callback number, please.
505-231-6177.
Thank you. And so you're saying that you need a password reset?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just check further your Nike credential here.
about to generate a temporary password for you, but I'm not showing security question setup yet on your account or profile in password reset management. But there's another way to generate a temporary password through. Okay, hold on. I'm showing the ticket here. This says off the log. I'm able to log in. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so like what my colleague has told you, we need, well, at least one of the coaches in the store to vouch for your identity because you don't have a security question set up yet.
I see. So the store manager hasn't called called you guys to vouch?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. If you want, you can call your manager now and have a conference call, and then after he or she vouch for your identity, we'll continue to troubleshoot your password issue.
Yeah, I already called her about 20 minutes ago. So at this point, when do you guys close? Like, can I call you in 3 hours?
3 hours. Yes, sir. That's still okay. We're still open.
Okay, until what time?
What time is it now in your area? Hold on, 4-6.
It's 4 p.m. 4:20 p.m.
4:20 p.m.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's fine. We still have colleagues manning the phone until 9 p.m. your time.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'll call then.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you for calling
Bye.
Global Service Dance. Have a good one.
Modern society is such a racket. But we all know that, don't we?
after this. I want to go back to your own story, especially for young people who are tuning in around the world right now. Talk about your parents, talk about what happened to you in China.
I was born in 1957. That's the year my father was purged as a so-called rightist.
He had been a friend of Mao Zedong.
Yeah, he's the same generation, maybe younger than Mao Zedong, and they all spent time in before the new nation established. So it belongs to this early revolutionary group. And his poet, he studied in Paris, and right after he came back to China, he was being put in jail for 6 years. Then, then later joined the revolution. After the 49, he was criticized. And with about 500,000 of the intellectuals in China, they being all put in the labor camps to get a re-education. So I grew up in these camps. During the Cultural Revolution, he really has to do very hard labors, insulted, beaten, and
This was in the Gobi Desert.
yeah, in the northwest, the Gobi Desert, very farthest location you can get on Chinese map.
And what was your understanding of what happened to you as a child?
As a child, you have no way to think otherwise because everybody is in extremely difficult situation. You think it's like you study the rain everywhere. It's under the rain. It's not. There's no exception. So he spent about 20 years cannot write words. Doing a lot of to clean the public toilet, and he often be beaten, and very. Sometimes he comes home with all the ink poured from his hand. It's become totally black, and going through a lot of this kind of insult.
They poured ink over his head.
Yeah. It's just there's a lot of meetings. The meetings he have to stand in front of the people and they say all kind of bad words about him, and he has to confess his crime, which he had never committed any crime.
And what about your mother?
My mother,
She also was raped.
yeah, she also had to struggle. She has to try and find something to feed those children, and we living underground. It's like a hole you're digging down, and you just the whole family living underground.
You helped your father burn your whole library, except for this one French encyclopedia.
Yeah, one day my father had a huge collection of books, art books about Impressionists, about Renaissance, and even medieval artworks. Because the right guard always come to my home, I have to check on those books every page by page. If we find anything like nudity or abstract art, they would really start to really question my father, and it's humiliating about him. So one day my father said we have to burn all those books because those books attract so many people to come to our home. So I helped him to burn those books page by page because it's and a lot of poetry books. He's he's a literary man, has a huge collection of books. So we burned it, everything.
And the next day you were sent off to the labor camp.
Yes. Soon after we sent to the labor camp.
So you lived in this remote area of China for how long?
I stayed till I was 18 or 19. Then after Chairman Mao's death, he has been, how do you call it, rehabilitated.
Rehabilitated.
Yeah. So we moved to Beijing.
And you went to school.
Yeah, at that time, university started open again after 10 years shut down. I went into Beijing Film Institute.
And you immediately got involved with politics and freedom of expression movements there.
Yeah, at that time, it's the first time China have a war we call it a democracy war. So we put our artworks, our writings, poetry on the wall. And then very soon after the war being turned down, and people got involved, some of them being put in jail. So that's the reason I decided how to leave China.
I mean, you knew right away, of course, you just come out of exile. You knew what you faced doing what you did.
Yes, it's unbelievable. You think China just after Cultural Revolution, and everybody has to think about the lessons they paid for this kind of harsh political movement. Then some young people start thinking how to make the nation change it or to protect it from this kind of political event. Then immediately Deng Xiaoping crashed the students and the people who is trying to make China more progressive.
So you left and you came here to the United States.
Yeah, I had a chance, so I left. I come to the United States. I stayed in New York about 10 years.
Lower East Side.
Yeah, I stayed Lower East Side and Brooklyn, and most time Lower East Side, 3rd Street between A and B.
You befriended Allen Ginsberg.
Yes, he's in the neighborhood, and he went to China at that time. And after he came back, he did a poetry reading in St. Mark's Church. So I was listening to his reading, and he talked about China tree. He said he had met a poet. So I figured out that's my father because the story he's telling. So when he comes down, I said, you just met my father. So he was very surprised. Then we become friends.
So you ended up returning to China despite all you'd been through because your dad was out in 1993.
Yeah, the time I moved to China, I was telling my mom I would never go back. I told her, my mom was very worried when she sent me to the airport because this child has no money and knows nothing about English. I told her, don't worry, I'm going home. So she's kind of sad. She knows I will never come back to China. But after 12 years, I decided to go back, and because my father was ill.
And how did you operate? What kind of space did you have there then? And talk about your art and ultimately what you did with the Sichuan earthquake, which was about 10 years later, 2000.
Yeah. By 1993, I went back. China had some change, and people become better off, with some road being fixed and some tall buildings in the city. But basically, they never changed the political structure, so there's no freedom of speech, no independent press. It's still very harsh on any kind of ideas or discussion. So I come up with an idea to publish some underground books to document Chinese art movement. So every year we make a book. The book has no title, just black cover, gray cover, or white cover. In protesting the censorship. And those books documents the underground movement of art at that time. Because there's simply no any newspaper or magazines who talk about contemporary art. Then I opened the first art gallery in China. This non-profit place to show undergroundly about Chinese art. Then by 2000, I made a curated art show. Title is Fuck Off. It's about also about contemporary young artists' work. And but at that time I was involved in architecture. I did a lot of architecture projects, about 60 projects, till finally I got involved with the National Stadium for Olympics we call it a bird nest. And after that, I quit the architecture. And by 2005, I had a chance to learn how to use internet and start typing and writing articles. Suddenly, I become very, very popular on internet because I would write 3-4 articles a day, and next day I would see a few 100,000 articles repost. So I thought that this is a really beautiful thing you can do, and with this nation has no traditional freedom of speech, and people basically are very scared about their writing. But I openly discuss politics or anything with my own independent view or opinion. So I get so popular, for a very short time. Then I get involved with Sichuan earthquake citizens investigation and
The Sichuan earthquake 2008.
to try to find these 5,000 students who was vanished during this earthquake, and of course that's related to government corruption and badly built buildings. So all those, a lot of other effort and argument about a lot of judicial cases, because that's the biggest problem in China. So all those things brought the government to have, well, I would say they dislike me, or
Well, you did this, you showed the images of the children. I wanted to show images from the installation you made called So Sorry from 2009, creating this installation called Remembering on the facade of the Munich museum. Can you talk about this in Germany? That would then travel the world. I saw it at the Brooklyn Museum.
yeah, once I get totally involved in this kind of life, a real situation, I often want to find a language to express it in the art context. So that time I do have art shows, and so I always build a work in relating to my research or my findings, and the show in Munich and also in Brooklyn, you can see some works are really relating to Syria earthquake.
You took the children's backpacks.
I redesigned the backpacks. Yes, this is a lot. This is 9,000 backpacks.
And you wrote out the words of the mother.
Yes, that's Yang Xiaowan is the girl who got killed, and her mom very touched. There's another person arguing the rights of those students, because basically China is silent about all those things. So I made a quite dramatic arguing with about 60 articles I write about Sichuan earthquake.
And the poor architecture and the poor building standards that.
Yeah, we have a lot of investigations, materials on the site visit. So I have a concrete proof, evidence about how those building has been collapsed.
And you wrote out the words with the backpack, what the mother said. She lived happily for 7 years in this world.
Yes, that's what her wish. She said, I don't want to get a government pension. All I want is people to remember my daughter has been living happily for 7 years.
We're going to break, and when we come back, what happened to you next? What launched you back into the world outside of China after you were arrested? Ai Weiwei is our guest, the world-renowned Chinese dissident, artist, activist, stateless. Says Democracy Now! I'm Amy Goodman. Our guest for the hour is Ai Weiwei. Yes, spending the hour with the world-renowned Chinese artist, dissident, activist. In 2008, after the massive Sichuan earthquake in China, Ai Weiwei launched a citizen investigation to collect the names of the more than 5,000 school children who died partially as a result of the
to 1 point. Therefore, the new line can intersect the n-1 old lines, and at most n-1 different points, though we must have k is less than or equal to n. We've established the upper bound, which follows.
Okay, I think we should maybe pause and look through what we're talking about here. Maybe on the whiteboard. Okay. Esmod is here, looks like.
Hi, David.
Let's see. So here's the problem that we have is that the problem that we have is lines that extend infinitely in both directions, and how many new regions can we make with each cut? So the primitive idea is that they double each time because each whole region gets split in half. But there's something wrong with that idea. It doesn't actually address the situation as we have it. Does anyone maybe we can talk about what's going on here in any terms that anyone anyone understands this, and kind of like what are we thinking is the process as we add each line.
Can I just say one thing? Am I audible?
Yeah.
I am very sorry for showing up late. I apologize for my tardiness. That's all.
Xerox, do you think the primitive idea is mistaken that you can't just double every time?
I never said such a thing. I never said that primitive man was mistaken. I think we should return to being primitive.
Okay, let's. What do you think, Noah?
I'm trying to paraphrase their words in my mind, but like you can't, if you do that, you can't go around and bend like that to get the fourth split. Because that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8.
Yeah, so like,
you can't bend, and that's why we don't get the 8 instead of you get 7 instead of 8, right?
so we have one region. So we have 4 regions, right? And then I guess what you're saying is we can split all of them except for one. In this case. In this case, it seems like at least one of them we're not going to be able to split. I wonder why that is. That that we know that. So maybe let's look at the next case. So we draw one more line, and that's the best we can do. It's going to hit everything except for this region here at the bottom to remain untouched.
Somebody's actually live streaming.